Ready and go. So here's the figure then. Haven't bothered with the letters. I've put the angles in, 20, 30, 40, and the question was, what's the size of angle X? And the important thing about this figure was, you've got two tangents. Now you could just go through these 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles and start filling in whatever angles you can, but obviously you must be using the fact that these are tangents. The first thing you think of with a tangent is, it'll meet a radius at right angles, but that's not necessarily a diameter there, so you can't use that. There are other ones. The one that they use in their solutions, I'm not going to do it that way, is identified by this feature here. If you see a tangent meeting a chord at the point of tangency, then you can use something called the alternate segment theorem, which is this. If you have a tangent to a circle which meets a chord at the point of tangency, then the angle between the tangent and the chord is the same as the angle formed by that chord in the opposite segment. There's the minor segment, there's the major segment, and of course a chord subtends the same angle at the circumference in the opposite segment, so that in this case, if I just choose this angle here, the alternate segment theorem says this angle is the same as that angle. Now you do have that pattern here. There's a tangent, there's the chord, so this angle would be the same as the one subtended in the opposite segment, the alternate segment, which means I'd have to draw this line in. But I'm not going to use that because I'm not going to draw extra lines in. Sometimes you do draw extra lines in, but I'm not going to here. No, I'm going to use a much more familiar one than that, and that's the fact that if you've got two tangents, two non-parallel tangents to a circle, they form a tangent kite. So that if you were to extend those two tangents, they would have to meet at a point if they weren't parallel. And that, when you connect these 2 points of tangency to the centre of the circle, form a kite. Those are right angles, which means that these two angles add up to 180. Those are supplementary. The other feature of a kite is it's made of two isosceles triangles. So that if you've got two tangents to a circle and join the points of tangency, those two angles must be the same. That's what I'm going to use here. So in this case here then, there's the two tangents, there's that line, that short diagonal of the tangent kite. It must be isosceles, so I know that this angle here is the same as that angle there. And then to narrow down on that little x, there's a triangle here with two known angles, so I can work out that third angle then in this large triangle. And that's the configuration I'm going to use to find x. Well, I'll get this one first. 20 and 30 is 50. 50 away from the 180 means this angle here, the one I've marked in blue, is 130 degrees. What about this one in red? Well, I've got one angle already in this triangle. If I could get this one, or an expression for it that doesn't involve any other variables apart from x, that would do as well. Well, in this triangle here, the third angle will be whatever's left over from 180 when you add the two of those together. And this one will be 180 minus that one, which means essentially this angle here is the sum of those two. That's called the exterior angle theorem. So this angle here then is 20 plus x. Simply because whatever that is, it adds on to that to make 180, and it adds on to those two to make 180. So I can get an expression for this red angle now. It'll be 180 minus those two. It'll be 180 minus 60 plus x. It'll be 120 minus x. And they are. It's virtually done now, because I've narrowed in on this. This is a straight angle of 180. The two of those together overlap by the amount x. So now I can just say, well, what was that red angle? It was 120 minus x. Maybe I'll put that one down first. That's not 13 degrees, that's 130. That angle there of 130, plus that angle there, the red one, that angle plus the 120 minus x, should come to 180 except they overlap by x, should come to 180 plus another x. Then to solve that. So taking the x's to this side and writing the other way around, I've got 2x is equal, and then taking the 180 away from this leaves 70, which means x is 35. Not a very good looking 5. And so that's the answer, D.